YouTube, it's your boy right here, Savvy's Official or Savvy's Official, whatever floats your boat. As you guys see in the title of the video, how you can be successful in anything. First podcast, a lot of you guys wanted this video because I posted it on my poll on my Instagram, and a lot of you have smashed that like button that you guys wanted the podcast about, you know, what we do as far as, you know, getting successful and how to actually get to success and have the right mindset to get there. Without further ado, let's get to the rest of the video. All right, guys, so in the video today, I got my boy Ben right here. He works with me at Active Pest Control. If you guys haven't seen the video, how I made $20,000 in one summer, go check it out right here on this link. Click it, watch it, DM me if you're interested. And right here is my man, Dave. Dave was in my video on the prank that we did with the Pop Smoke lyrics in my last video. Yep. If you haven't seen that, go back on my video and watch that. Just the short guy with the gray jacket.
Yeah.
That's him, man.
Getting a little bit of hate comments, but you know, we're back here to redeem ourselves.
Yes, sir, bro. Let's get to it. All right, y'all. So the first, you know, question I got for everybody here, including me, is basically, how do you define success in your life? You feel me? So I'm gonna start first, and then these two are gonna go right after me. So for me, success for me is a little bit different from a lot of people because I grew up, you know, not in the best situation ever growing up as a kid. You know, I actually, if you guys didn't know, I grew up in like the slums, like straight ghetto in Goldsboro, North Carolina. So growing up, you know, I always was looking towards sports to make it out, you know, make it out like the hood for success. You know, using school as a pedestal for it, and just honestly doing whatever I can do to basically, you know, free me. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So I was always outgoing because I did not want to end up like how some of my friends, you know, ended up in school, either, you know, going to jail or doing, you know, just the bad stuff, taking the bad route. I just didn't want to be like that. I knew I was different, and I knew I had it in me. So that's why I always, you know, kind of separated myself and used the separation season to basically gain some type of power to just be better than those people. Because I saw a lot of my good friends, best friends, even girlfriends go the wrong route. And some of them aren't even here as of today, which is really sad to say, but I mean, they're not here at all. So for me, success is basically building myself into a better person, you feel me? Building myself to a better person. Not just, I don't really care about money like that. Success, like money to me is not success. I don't know, it's just not. I just want to like build myself and be better than I was, you know, 5 years ago. And that's basically how I look at success. And right now, like doing YouTube, doing all this Instagram stuff, TikTok, even like Active here selling pest control in the summer. And with all this stuff, I feel like I'm already successful, and I'm just getting better and better every day. So I can say right now, I am very successful, and I'm only going to get better with that. So yeah, that's my part on, you know, success. I really don't care about the money or whatnot. That's going to come as a byproduct as I'm getting better, you know, in my craft. But other than that, that's just me, you know, keeping that band. What about you, Dave?
It's actually crazy that Savvy asked this question, because I was actually thinking about this the other day, and I was kind of like, what does success mean to me, and what would it mean for me to like actually be successful, right? So I looked up what success actually meant, like, you know, on dictionary.com, and it basically means the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, right? And so when you say like the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, you know, basically the purpose is, you know, to me it's like life. So success to me is being able to sit on my deathbed, or, you know, in my final moments, be able to look back on my life and be happy, right? Be able to like say I made the choices and I helped the right people, and I did, you know, I was there for my family and things like that. And so I think like there's a difference between, you know, what success is, and then there's a difference between being successful. You know what I'm saying? Because like right now, Savvy can say that, you know, he's successful right now because of the lifestyle that he's living, and, you know, the job that he has, and the opportunities that he's given, and the opportunities he's given other people. That's making him successful. But I feel like you can't truly, you know, reach success, you know, until it's all said and done.
True.
You know what I'm saying? So I guess you be successful consistently every day until eventually you actually reach success. So that kind of, and I guess like what would make me happy at the end of my life is to know that I provided for myself, you know, provided for my family, and most importantly, I provided for the people who didn't have an opportunity that I did. Because I think true fulfillment comes from helping people that you know, are just not as, you know, blessed as some of us are. Ben, what about you?
Damn, that's facts.
That's a good point right there. I would say that I mean, obviously when you grow up, you're thinking, you know, whatever materialistic things, you know, the size of your house, you know, kind of car you drive, whatnot. That's just pretty typical what is defined as success. And then once you actually get to a level of like understanding of like, okay, that's only going to get me so far, you know, it's not going to be sustainable. It doesn't bring you to where you need to be, and really that fulfillment that they're talking about. And so it's more so freedom to me, like how many decisions in my life are my own that aren't being dictated by others. I think that's what is success to me, because then it's like, okay, I'm able to craft my life how I want it to be and make decisions how I want it to be, not have somebody else really dictate that, which is really nice to have. And just being able to experience that at this age has been pretty nice. And just it's one of those things where when you are sitting there and you're thinking about, okay, what do I really want out of life? That's something that will bring you fulfillment for the rest of till you die. So just having control really of your own life and decisions that you can take, that's going to be obviously your path and where you're trying to end up, because that's all it is. It's just one continuous path. So that's one thing that I've learned so far. You know, and that can be, you know, taken a lot of ways. A lot of people see that differently, you know. That's on you to however you interpret it. But how I see it, it's really just the freedom you have to make your own decisions about your life.
And I think piggybacking off what Ben just said, you know, like having the freedom to make your own decisions, I think like that's another part of success, is the journey. So many people want to think about the end goal. So many people want to think about, you know, what it's gonna, but they forget that, you know, you can't have true success if you're not doing it every single day. You know, if you're not, you know, making those free will choices every single day. Like J.J. Watt said it best, you know, success is leased, it's not owned, and the rent is due every damn day. So that means that you have to bring it every single day. If you want to be successful, you know, nobody just wakes up one day and is successful. That's like a, you know, you making constant choices every single day to put yourself in a better position.
That's funny. So okay, what if like you know, you're going for the success or whatnot, but you have so many people just against you every day, like your friends and your family, like people telling you like that's unrealistic, like be realistic, stop being so optimistic. What would you do during that, you know, situation? And you're getting that every day too.
Yeah. So I definitely think you know, because I know I recently put Savvy onto the Russ book. I've been trying to put Ben onto the Russ book. If you haven't listened, audiobook by Russ, it's called It's All in Your Head audiobook. It's on YouTube. It's an hour and a half long, so it's super easy, super digestible. And he talks about like, you know, almost be delusional to a point. You know what I'm saying? Like if there's so many people doubting you, and like it really like it is just your own self-faith. You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like, especially if people are doubting you and everything, as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm getting my stuff done, you know, I'm getting what I need to get done, I'm accomplishing my goals at my own pace, you know, I don't think you can really let anybody bog you down as long as you're fulfilled, you know, with yourself. So I guess that's how I would answer.
So is that so? Yeah, okay, great answer. What about if your parents, like what if you're like a teenager, 16, and you're just with your parents every day, living with them, under their roof, they're paying the bills, and they're saying that too. They're saying that they don't want you to go this path. Do what I want you to do. What are you doing that?
It's right. Like when I graduated high school, I didn't really want to go to college, and my parents made me. You know, like for better or for worse, I went to college, and you know, I think obviously this is gonna be different for everybody that listens to it, you know. But like, I'm a personal believer that, you know, things will find you. You know what I'm saying? Like things that, you know, you're destined for will find you.
Like the girls, right?
Like the girls, or just like, you know what I'm talking. Just like me being in school, maybe it wasn't what I wanted to do at the time, but it led me to meet people, and it led me to learn about myself, and it gave me experiences that grew me to a point where I feel like now when opportunity comes, I'm prepared a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So like even if somebody wants you to go this way, and even if you're forced to go this way, but you want to go this way, just know that if you're going this way, learn from it, right? So when you decide to go this way, you have, the more experience, and you have the better knowledge, and you have, more preparation. Ben, how would you say?
Which part?
The part about like people like bogging you down, like people bringing negativity into your life.
It's hard not to listen to that when you don't have things, when you're not in a better situation than them, to be quite frank about it. It's not like, I think it's a lot easier, honestly. Like, you sit there, you watch, you consume content like Gary Vee, obviously you see Grant Cardone everywhere, like they're blasting social media, guys like that. It's very easy for them from that position to say, don't care about what anybody thinks.
True, it is.
Like, you have a Rolls Royce in a plane,
Yep.
like of course you're gonna be able to say that. Because, I mean, anybody that you're like, that's saying anything to you that's like negative, like, you're in a better situation.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder to maintain that mindset of like, it's not about what somebody else wants. It never is. It's about what you want and what you desire out of life. And so you just kind of soul search and you say, all right, am I going to prioritize what other people are thinking about me, and is that going to like actually inhibit me from going through with some of my actions that I normally would want to take, and I'm just scared of what people are going to think? Or am I going to prioritize myself and just say, all right, that's going to happen, so be it. So that's kind of how like my look at it is like, yeah, if you're doing super well for yourself, it gets easier.
Yeah.
Is basically what I'm getting
true.
at. It gets easier. Like, yeah, I can tell you to, fuck off, if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
But like, once you're in that position, but if you're not, it's very difficult to have that approach because you're not where you want to be yet.
Yeah, I know in 50 Cent's book, 50th Law of Power, he says like literally one of the most powerful things that you can have is the ability to say, I don't give a fuck what that person thinks of me. Right? Again, I'm not sure if I'm cursed. The 50th Law of Power.
Okay.
Right. So basically.
No, you're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're good.
So basically, it's just like, like it's super powerful just to be able to be like, you know what, like, yeah, maybe these people are hating on me, but I'ma still do me, because as I said, that means that you're truly, you have faith in yourself, right? So I think that's definitely a really true statement. That's super powerful, being able to, be unapologetically yourself. Once you realize that you can be unapologetically yourself, and the world's not going to end, you're going to find more fulfillment, you're going to be happier, and everything else is just going to start opening up for you.
That's cool. So I had a question for both of y'all. Do you think you can be, a natural, is there such thing as a natural born go-giver? Or a go-getter, a person that's like always at it? Do you got to be naturally born like that, or is it hereditary, or you got to have like the environment around you during your childhood to make you like that?
Ben, yeah, you get this one first.
I've never thought about this. I mean, it's definitely your environment. I think it's both, to be honest, but your environment plays a huge role. Like, I wouldn't be doing the stuff that I'm doing if I wasn't around people that are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Because it just reinforces it. So like, it's, we're very follow the crowd kind of people. And if you're around a good crowd, like, that's a good thing to have. If you're around a bad crowd, you're gonna sink into that. Once you know, so I would say it's you and not your environment once you know the bright side, if that makes sense. Like, once you know what this other side is like. Like, if you're around people with bad habits and whatnot, and then you get out of that, you get around people with great habits, getting up early, like they're doing their thing and doing their routine, like they're obviously doing well for themselves. And then you go back to the bad habit people, that's when you can identify it. You won't go back.
Yeah,
that's what I'm getting at.
That's such facts right there.
So like, once you see, that's what I mean by like the bright side, like whatever that is to you. I mean, there's numerous situations you can get from that. So that's, I would say it is environment. But I've had no reason to end up how I am right now. Like, my parents are very like by the book, rule followers, like that kind of deal, like very safe, like comfortable decisions in their life, which is fine. Like, that's how they grew up, and they turned out just fine. Turned out great, but I've had every reason not to turn out like just kind of this like way that I am in terms of like what career path I've chosen and just how I'm living right now. But it's, I mean, at the end of the day, it's what you want for yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
Ultimately, like, obviously, I think that there are people who are born, you know, just wired different.
I think so
You know
too,
what
man.
I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan, for example. That's an example of somebody like you say
MJ.
You say who's born, you know,
But
born
his,
as a
his
go-getter.
environment reinforced it too, because if that man was sitting behind a desk all day, he wouldn't have been the beast he was.
But see, I guess then this
As
is,
much.
but then this is, I guess, goes perfectly into what I was about to say, because he was a go-getter because he found his passion and he pursued it relentless, right? So like, I think anybody can be, you know, born a go-getter if they truly find their passion and they take action on their passion.
So you're saying if they don't find their passion, they're dwelling.
Not necessarily, because I mean, you know, you don't want to limit yourself. You know, you can, you know, like maybe like for instance, sales right now. Sales isn't my passion, you know, but I'm still gonna be a go-getter about it just because I want to better myself and I want to prove to myself. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying if you have that passion, you know, and you find that passion, then you know you're gonna be a go-getter like crazy. You know, once you actually put in action and you really go after it, you know, then I think people who find their passion earlier, those are like the born go-getters. And then, you know, I think, but I don't want to limit anybody. I think anybody can be a go-getter. You know, it's just more like Ben was saying, you know, like really asking yourself, what do you want? Figuring that out, and then just taking action. You know, so many people, they think about stuff like that, and then they get on YouTube and they get on Instagram and they scroll for like 6 hours.
A point, yeah, exactly.
They don't take that action, you know. So like, I guess like, if you want to be a go-getter, the only way you're gonna go do it is if you're gonna get after it. So go do it, you know. Take action.
But like you said too, you know, if you have my thing is I don't understand how people, not even our age, but people just they know how to. I guess how can I say? They know how to get out of those bad habits by hanging with better people, like you said. But why do those same people hang with those bad habit-seeking people for? Like, why? Like, are they addicted to them? Are they feeding them something that they want that they will think will fill that hole in their heart? Like, what is it? Because I have so many friends like that. You're like, they want to be like, I want to be like good like you, Savvy, but I'm addicted to this guy more, even though he's worse and he's bad for me. Like,
it's the same reason. It's the same reason that, you know, people stay in abusive relationships is because it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? That's what's comfortable, because you know that's what they're comfortable with. You know, and people don't like being uncomfortable, and I think I think that's probably one of the biggest, you know, problems with people in our generation is they don't want to be uncomfortable.
Snowflake.
But the craziest part about it is that once you become uncomfortable and you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you realize that you need it to be uncomfortable. Like Ben was saying, you know, you see the bright side and you see how good everything is, you know, on this side, and how negative everything was on this side, and you've been living on this side your whole life. You just got to step out of your comfort zone, put yourself in this space, and then just appreciate everything that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? How would you say it, Savvy?
Before I answer, I did want to say, well, you know, when you get uncomfortable, that does hurt though too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does hurt for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I feel like honestly, what Dave said, he had a good explanation of it. You have to, you know, get uncomfortable, and the reason why I say that is because by being comfortable, you're going to be sticking with those same comfortable people throughout your life. You feel me? The same content, mediocre, not hungry people that are just already satisfied, even though they haven't reached their potential. And that's why I'm glad that you said something about passion. Like, you gotta try different stuff, especially if you're young. Try different things. Definitely. If your mom wants you to be a lawyer, okay, cool, mom. I'll maybe try that later, but I'm doing this for now to see if I like it. I don't just want to go straight to the lawyer job and take those like law classes because you want me to. No, let me try what I want to do. I'm sitting here 19 years old. I got like what 80 years of my life left. Come on now, look at people like Donald Trump. They're like 85, ruling the world. Come on, bro. Like, come on now. So what's going on? So I recommend for any of y'all watching this video, and you're like our age, 21, 22, 23, just try different stuff. Like, don't listen to your friends, you know, take their advice, but you don't have to do what people are saying at all. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Try different things to find your passion.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
or just
because your question was, you know, like what happens if you're working hard and you're not seeing any results, basically, right? Like, what do you do in that situation?
I guess it's his perception, bro.
Yeah.
I think he is getting better, but he wants more and more and more.
I mean, look, there's perception, but there's also, you know, like course of action. Because
that's true.
If you're doing something and you're not seeing results and you're still doing it, you know, that's the definition of insanity, right? So like, at some point you have to look at it, even though you might be moving in the wrong direction, you might be taking the wrong action. So maybe you have to switch up your plan. Maybe you have to switch up how you move. Maybe you have to switch up. Maybe you have to switch up direction. You know, maybe you have to say, I thought this was my passion, and you know, maybe I have to explore more. But there's no reason, if you're truly working hard for 5 years and you're truly making yourself uncomfortable and you're truly, you know, doing everything that you can, I mean, in 5 years, you're gonna see some sort of growth, without a doubt. I mean, it's impossible you don't. I think you guys agree with me, right? On that.
See it within 6 months.
Literally, see it, you can see it pretty immediately. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
That's some good stuff. So what
So
about,
I guess, hey, really quickly, I'm gonna take over really quickly. I've got a question for Savvy. Savvy, how would you say, you know, what, like, obviously you were saying that, you know, you grew up in the slums and you didn't want to live that life, and you know, but what really, you know, because I mean, this guy right here, you guys, this guy right here in the middle, this is one of the most inspirational, you know, like one of the most positive, you know, like well-rounded guys that I know, and I truly say that, I honestly mean that. You know, so like, how would you say that? What have you done to kind of adopt that mindset? Because not only wanting to better yourself, but also just being an inspiration to others, wanting to better others, and you know, being, you know, so positive.
Facts, man. Good question, bro. For me, it's just I don't know. As I grew up, man, there's so much. Kind of like David Goggins. Kind of like David Goggins. There's so much stuff that I've been through that I just don't talk about on a daily basis to people. I mainly just, you know, talk to all this stuff to my mom about it. But I've been through just, like my dad he had a good job. Mom had a good job. It's just that some of the people that they hung around got to me when I was like just a child. Because I didn't, like, as a child, you don't have that awareness yet. You don't have that awareness until you're like, what, 8, 9, 10 years old. You don't have that awareness to know what's going on.
Yeah.
So growing up, I just knew something was off. And it was just their friends, just the negativity, and like I said, like you said, bad habits, just affected me. So as I grew up, I knew I was different because I was like overly enthusiastic and optimistic in every single one of my classrooms in elementary school, middle school, pre-K. So I just knew I was different because while every other student was like, you know, dwelling in the class or crying about an assignment, I was like, I failed. I don't care. Let's do more. I want to do more. So I knew something. I don't know what it was. I don't know if, like you said, if it's hereditary or if it was my environment at home. Because my dad's the same way. My dad is super optimistic and super go-getter, super giving back to people. So it could have been him, you know, giving it back to me through the blood. But I have no idea. For me, I just don't want to live the same way I've been living in my past. Because that gets to me when I think about that.
Yeah.
Like, we all have some type of anxiety, some type of depression, but that might be my anxiety. When I go to sleep at night, I think about that. Like, I don't want to be how the hell I was when I was 6 years old, seeing my, like, you know, my mom's friends struggle and her sisters struggle. Like, I don't want to be like that. They hate on me. Like, I never understood that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Why would you hate on me? I'm just so positive. So as I figured it out throughout middle school, going into high school, 9th grade, I was like, you know what? I've got to make a change here, use my voice and inspire other people that are going through the same thing as me. And that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing all of this today, active, you know, doing this Instagram, YouTube stuff, so people can understand that you can leave your shell. Like, you can figure out what your shell is whenever you develop that awareness. You have to develop that awareness first to understand what's going on. So I had to leave that shell. Once I left it, what's up, bro? Somebody out the window. Once I left that shell, it was just over. I was just sprouting like a flower, bro. Because we all come from dirt, just like Steve Harvey said. We all come from dirt. So if you use that dirt and pour some water up there, bro, you're gonna sprout. The flower's gonna come out. So that's just me, bro. Like, I had to get out that environment. Even though they're family, no. Negativity will dwell you down. It'll bring you down.
Yeah, definitely.
And words mean a lot.
Definitely.
Words are so strong. So I just gotta separate myself from that. And I noticed when I did that, I was taking their souls too. They knew I was different. They was like, bro, our kid is something different. He's doing stuff that we never thought we could ever do when we were younger. So now they're just questioning themselves, like, how did we build this? We didn't teach them this stuff. You're right. You guys didn't teach me. It was just me. My intuition, my awareness that developed all this stuff throughout reading books, watching movies, watching TV shows, all this stuff in the world that the media gives us. It influenced me in a very good way, actually. Watching all these shows growing up, you know, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, that all that stuff influenced me to do better. Because I wanted to be like those kids on those TV shows. That's why I like that stuff. Like, as of today, like playing games when growing up, you know, video games, all that good stuff, bro. I relate to the characters on the games and I want to be better and be like a superhero on the game. So I just relate to that stuff, man. To be honest, that's just me.
And I think with Savvy, like what he's saying about like realizing your shell, you know, I mean, a lot of people realize their shell. A lot of people realize what they're doing wrong. A lot of people know their bad habits. A lot of people know what they need to do in order to have a good life. You know, it's always in the back of our mind. You know, we're not oblivious. We're not stupid. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, they don't want to act on it because, like we've been saying, they don't want to be uncomfortable, right?
That's true.
You know, like getting out of your shell is uncomfortable, right? But ultimately, it's about identifying, planning, and then executing. That's really what it comes down to.
That's facts. What about you, Ben?
I mean, you guys just unpacked a lot right there.
Yeah, that was a lot, man. That was a lot. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Any comments on that, or questions, or concerns, or something that could help you in your life or whatnot?
That could help me.
Yeah.
Like just advice for them.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, you believe in the law of attraction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You should go over that, bro, because I feel like you. I don't know if you put me onto the law of attraction, but I know you told me about it before I really got onto it, and then I started getting onto it more.
It's along the lines of like manifestation and stuff like that. Essentially, just talking about whatever energy you're putting out, it's gonna come back to you.
Yeah.
So like.
And also what energy you're consuming, you know?
Yeah.
Putting out and consuming.
But like, I mean, yeah. So you're putting out off this energy. Like, I mean, think about. I'm trying to think of an example here. Like somebody. All right, like if you're looking, I mean, give me an example of something that you would desire in like when you're like younger, like advice of some sort. Like you're going to reach out, like you're not going to go to somebody about, you know, okay, all right, I'll relate it to basketball. You're running like a team, you're trying to get a team together, you know, you got 5 guys, right? Who are you going to reach out to? People who play basketball, obviously, like people who play that sport. You're not going to be reaching out to people who play baseball players, like you're not gonna be hitting up actors. Like that's not gonna happen. Yeah. Like the law of attraction, they're gonna reach out to you, and you're gonna get opportunities presented to you based off of what you've been putting out. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, if you're looking for a certain type of, you know, line of work, like I mean, just for my own life, like I've had a couple guys reach out to me, just trying to get started on like business ventures, like whether it's like real estate or whatnot, just because of like the person that I come off as. That they feel like I could assist them in what they're trying to. So it's just like
definitely
whatever. I mean, law of attraction. There's a lot to go into that, and I mean that's
a whole other thing. But
that's a whole. Yeah, it is a whole other thing. But it's real. Like it's not. Yeah, this isn't something that's just like this mythical. Like no, it's legitimate. And I believe that too. And once you start to believe it, you'll start to recognize how often it's happened to you in your life. And you just kind of overlooked it.
Definitely, bro. I was reflecting the other day, and I was just like, damn, I really I was in such a dark place that, you know, like my thoughts and my actions just kept producing bad results. And so I guess like to simplify what I was trying to get at with the law of attraction, like to put it simply, imagine this, right? If you're listening to positive stuff all day, right? If you're consuming positive media all day, if you're consuming motivational stuff all day, if you're reading good books all day, if you're just living a positive lifestyle, I mean, positivity is gonna come. That's not, you know, me reinventing the wheel. That's common sense, right? So, and it works the exact opposite way. If you're hanging out with negative people all day, you know, if you're around, you know, the wrong influences, and you're just, you know, mindless social media scrolling all day, that's not gonna produce anything positive, right? So I just like definitely watch the media that you consume, because that can affect you, and then also the energy that you put out will also, you know, like Ben was saying, manifest into you know, whether it be, you know, job opportunities or, you know, friendships, relationships down the line, things like that.
I have a question for both of y'all. So we all know here that we're all, you know, really working super hard in all of our jobs, you know, doing our aspirations like each and every day. I'm talking about hours after hours after hours. Do you guys like ever get tired? Like I know you guys get tired, but how do you fight through that tiredness? Because I know so many people even watching the stream right now or the podcast right now. You get tired when you work, and they just stop. Like, they don't go back to it. They just stop. They don't maintain frontside focus. They just stop. I'm done. Let's try something else. Do the same thing. Go hard for a couple of days. Stop. Do something else. Same thing. It's just a cycle. So how do you guys continue to push and keep on doing what you're doing, but you know deep inside that you're drained, but you're still going hard?
Yeah.
Like, how are all these people doing that? Because like, even like, for example, Jay-Z, Beyonce, they've been through so much stuff in their life, but they're still going hard, you know, making record labels. Even 50 Cent doing the same thing. Logic, Gary Vee, all these people. How are these successful people doing that?
Man, I'll let Ben answer that one first, bro, because like I like to think that I've been working hard recently, but Ben's a workhorse.
Yeah.
And I know Ben gets drained, and I want to hear his answer on this one.
So it's not a matter of like, in my opinion, it's not a matter of getting drained. Like you're gonna get drained. Like this shit's gonna happen. I mean, if you're backing up with enough rest, like I believe in rest, to be quite frank. So like if you get serious about rest, then you're able to really dedicate a lot of energy into your work. But like it's the biggest thing that kind of hit me in terms of like nothing's always, stuff's rarely gonna go your way. If you enjoy your daily routine, like genuinely enjoy your daily routine, then when stuff doesn't go your way, like it's just not a big deal. I think the biggest thing that I picked up recently was that your problems never go away. It's whether you upgrade your problems or not. Like you're not sitting like, bro, like people who like are successful, like LeBron James, like he does not have problems. Like come on now. If anything, he has more problems than you. Like you're looking up to him like, wow, he must not have a care in the world. Like no, he cares. Like he has problems. His problems are way bigger. To be honest, like way bigger. But that's because of the path he's been on and the person and what he's put out into the universe. Right? Like that's come back to him. Like he has all eyes on him at all the time. Like you would hate that. Criticism for everything you do, every move you make. Like there's no break. So like there's no problems don't go away. It's whether you enjoy them. If you are fine solving them and pushing through them, that's when you know you're doing something you enjoy. Is if you're able to cope, well not even cope, but like actually be fine with the problems that are popping up, because they never go away. So like that's how I kind of fight getting tired. And really it's you don't get tired when you enjoy your daily routine. I mean, if you just don't, like, you won't allow yourself to be tired. It's interesting like how when I'm in other places, you know, even when I'm at home, like I'll find myself a lot more fatigued, and it's because of the environment I'm in and like just what I'm used to. Like that's where I grew up at. Like it's a very comfortable place for me. So that's the whole point of like, if your routine is not bringing you a smile every day, like what are you doing? Definitely. And I think another big thing is, you know, vision. You know, having vision is huge to make sure, like, because obviously, like Ben said, you know, you're gonna get drained. Like it's natural. It happens to everybody. And I guess you can classify people as people who, you know, if a problem's presented with them, they're either gonna withdraw and they're, you know, gonna kind of let the problem take over, or they're gonna solve the problem, right? And so, I think with vision, what it really helps you do is if you do get drained, you know, when a problem arises, you say, oh, okay, this problem is impairing my vision. My vision is more important than anything, so I'm going to solve this problem. And it turns you into a problem solver. And that's what you want to be, ideally, right? So you need to figure out your vision, you know. That's why so many jobs, you know, in interviews, they ask, what's your 5-year plan? You know, that's why it's such a common question, because it's a really important, you know, thing to have. A 5-year plan. It's an important to have a vision for your life. So what the original question was talking about pushing through tiredness.
Pushing through tiredness.
How are you able to?
I think having vision is super important, and that's gonna help you push through. And then like this is just something that, you know, I know Savvy knows and Ben knows from working here at Aptive. You know, every time that you get tired of work, you just gotta work a little bit more. You know, you just gotta keep working, dude. Like straight up, you know, you're gonna hit a wall, and then you're gonna work through that wall, and then it's like, you know, the floodgates are open. Now you're back to normal. So, you know, it seems counterintuitive. You know, when you want to take a day off, that's when you really should be putting in your most.
That's pretty dope, man. I always thought about something, because, you know me, like, I really you know, vouch for social media, and I respect like the media or whatnot. But like, do you feel like people that's like, you know, up there like LeBron, I don't know, Kylie Jenner, all these like celebrities, do you feel like their problems are a lot worse than, first, say, people that's just like working regular 9 to 5s? Because they're on top of the world. Like, everyone knows who they are. Everyone's like on them, and they can't really live like a normal life.
Yeah.
Like just 9 to 5 workers, basically, like just normal people.
Well, I mean, also, it's perspective, bro.
That too, yeah.
What what some people could see as a problem, other people could see as a blessing. You know what I'm saying?
Too,
so
yeah.
I guess it's really, I mean, and that's anything that we're gonna talk about, anything that Savvy's gonna talk about on this podcast, whether it be this episode or another episode, it can always relate back to perspective and mindset. That everything. So I think that is pretty much the bread and the butter. Is having the mindset and having the perspective, because you can look at something that might be impairing you moving forward, and you can look at it as a problem, or you can look at it as an opportunity for you to overcome and to better yourself. And so just that perspective shift, going from problem to opportunity to rise, like that's super, super powerful. Once you figure that out, once you shift that perspective, then problems don't really become problems. They just become, chances for you to become a better person.
Dang, that's fast, man. Sheesh.
What about you, Savvy? What do you think?
I'm brain twisted. What was the question again?
So you were asking, you were like, do you think like the problems that of like LeBron James and Serena Williams and do you think like, they have bigger problems, as it were?
Ooh. See, man, one day, I do want to see myself up there. So, and I thought about this a lot, man, because I ain't even told nobody yet, but I plan on auditioning for the show. I haven't told nobody. I plan on auditioning for the show, The Outer Banks on Netflix.
Yeah?
Yeah. It sent me a message today. Yeah.
No way, really?
Yeah, seriously, bro. Yeah, I was on the call. I was on the call later today.
That'd be awesome.
So I don't know, man. This is the type of stuff I think about when I go to bed, bro. Just I don't want to get too big where my life is just like they're controlling it, the media or whatnot. I want to still control everything. Yeah. And that's why I enjoy YouTube, because this is all you. Yeah. Like, this is your business. Like, this is like our business. When you get all the way up there, like with LeBron and them, it's just, if you're not strong enough, like you said, perspective, if you're not strong enough, the media can just fuck you up. Yeah, like, they're really in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, look at people like, Justin Bieber. He totally flipped his life now. Yeah. Like, he's like so close to God now. Yeah. Before, he was just all on drugs, all this like hard alcohol and stuff. But like, but so I think, first of all, it really depends on what industry you're in, as far as, if you're like a celebrity or whatnot, like what industry you're in, such as like, basketball, if you're a rapper, if you're I guess you can call YouTubers celebrities, depending on how big they are, like Mr. Beast, he's up there, people like that. It just depends on how strong you are and what you want to do, because success is about how many people you serve and how well you serve them. And a lot of those celebrities don't give a fuck about nobody. Yeah. A lot of them don't. Yeah. Like they just want money. Yeah. As you can see, all these like videos, they popping money, popping pills, popping bottles. Like, I would never ever be like that.
That's also what the industry wants to see.
That too. Yeah. That's true.
So
that's
true. I know those guys, a lot of those people aren't like that. They don't want to do that,
like,
but they have to.
Future doesn't even do drugs.
I know a lot of,
Future doesn't even do drugs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he raps about it all the time.
I did not know that.
He used to, but like he doesn't anymore, but he'll still rap about it.
Well, they do that for a lot of TV personalities too. They get them into just like,
wow, that's interesting.
Like, really,
actually,
bad.
I did not know that.
What's crazy is I heard that like upcoming rappers, whenever they go to sign like a record deal, like in the contract, like they'll be like, you have to get a face tattoo, or like something like that. So like there's definitely like a sort of image that these top level media outlets, they want to portray, and I think they kind of want to influence people, because I mean, and that's a whole other topic we can get to on a whole other video. But
it's a good topic too, bro.
But you know where I'm coming from with that. But I think like Sadie was saying earlier about like YouTube being a business. I think I heard this actually. It was earlier today in a podcast I was listening to, or it was one of my coworkers. I don't know which one, but they said run your life like a business, right? Like treat your life like it's a business, and it really is like your own personal business. You don't want your business to go under. And so you have to make decisions each and every day that are going to positively affect your business, down the line. I know, like, when I was 18, when I was 19, when I was 16, when I was younger at least, like, I wish that I had a mindset of thinking 5 years in the future. I wish I thought, like 10 years ahead. People make so many short-term decisions nowadays when, they have a whole life to live. And you know what I'm saying? Like short-term, decisions, long-term impacts, versus long-term decisions and, I guess long-term, wins.
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Compound effect.
Yeah.
Dang, they hit
So
hard.
treat your life like a business, you know what I'm saying?
That's
You gotta run it.
That's crazy. So you feel like with even with rappers too, like I'm talking about not the guys that talk about all the drugs and stuff and like the alcohol, but people like Logic and Russ. Like I feel like those are like genuinely good people.
Yeah.
But they obviously get stressed too sometimes, just like us. For sure.
Yeah.
So why don't you think people like Logic are getting all these face tattoos and stuff like that? Is it like a different industry, or how does that work? That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
because
first of all, Russ is like independent.
That too.
Right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
Russ is independent, and then also like Logic, he was able to amass a following, without a record label.
So are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
With all of his like Young Sinatra mixtapes.
That's right. Yeah.
So
okay.
like I mean, they have leverage going into these meetings. I'm
That
talking
makes
about
sense. Okay.
like the perspective I was talking about. The rapper who was gonna sign, and the label said they had to get a face tat.
Yeah.
That's like somebody who had like. Like their top song was like 100,000 plays.
Oh, okay.
So they have no leverage, and they're saying, okay, we'll let you into the game if you get a face tattoo, things like that. But ultimately, going back to Russ and back to Logic and things like that, like these people
like J. Cole,
they have so much self-faith, like it's crazy. They know who they are. They're unapologetically themselves. And they really don't give a fuck who disagrees with them, right? And that just goes back to what I was saying earlier about the 50th law. The 50 Cent. The most powerful thing is having that power to say, this is who I am, and I don't give a fuck what people think about it. Once you hold that power, nothing can stop you, literally. Once you hold that power, I mean, people are gonna, be negative. People are gonna, you're gonna have haters, whatever. But once you hold that power, you can keep moving forward, and nothing will get in your way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's very, I'm saying this as a person who's even struggling to still find that power. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's just something that you need to work towards, because that is truly empowering to be yourself to the fullest extent.
That's facts. Dang, that hit.
That hit different.
Hit different.
Hit different.
Hit different.
You know what I'm saying?
Hit different. If you're liking this before, smash that like button.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Hit that notification bell. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And comment. If you have any questions regarding any of this stuff. One thing I do want to hit on. I had a couple of my friends from back home, and they always ask me, how, if you never had the optimism in your body naturally, like hereditary or whatever, if we even get that, if that's real, how do you take that first step? Like, how do you get the momentum started if you already don't have it in your household and you're just such an introvert and you don't have the optimism? You're just like, I don't got nothing. You feel me?
Yep.
Yeah. How do you do that? Like,
Ben, do you have something that you want to
say
on this?
I mean, it is difficult when you're not surrounded by that kind of environment. I would say what kind of sparks it is when you start, well, for me at least, when you start thinking about where you actually want to be at in the next 10 years or 20. Like, genuinely, you ask yourself, who do I identify with? Is it the top 1%? Do I identify with like the mid-level pack? Am I, whatever it is, like, am I a top performer in everything I've done? Am I like, kind of an average guy? Like, you start to ask yourself who you identify with and like what you really genuinely want. And then like stuff just starts to, like, stuff doesn't matter anymore. Like your environment, you might be acting out in their eyes, but you're not acting out in the people's lives you want to be.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. Like with like the 50th law, like you hold that power where you know what you want, and so like nothing else matters. Like the obstacles like that come.
Well, the biggest thing too is like take somebody who you would love to be like and want to live like, and take everything they say and just just do it verbatim.
Yep.
Whatever they say, because then obviously they're doing something different than people that aren't in their position. And you're not going to listen to somebody who is not in your position anymore. Like their opinion. All right, if it's your family, yeah. Like I'm not telling you to tell them to just beat it, but like you won't value it as much, like because you'll know, okay, well this person I'm probably not going to listen to because they are not living the life that I want to live.
Yep.
And there's nothing against them. It's nothing personal. It's just, hey, I want something different out of life. You've made decisions to get where you want to be. And then once you come to an acceptance of that, that's when your environment is like, all right, it doesn't, like, I'm just gonna listen to who I actually want to be around and who I actually want to be like.
And so I got two things. One, this is an action exercise, okay? So let's go ahead and do an action exercise real quick. I want you guys, if you're watching this, write down like 2 or 3 people who you idolize, who really like you think are just super dope, like super, super cool people. Like for instance, like I think Michael Jordan and Kobe, like I idolize them. And then write down why you idolize them. What is it about them that really like draws you into them? What is it about them that's made them successful and put them in a position to even be idolized by you? You know what I'm saying? So like I did that, for example. That was something I did a while back, and I was like, Kobe's preparation, like I absolutely loved how prepared he was in every situation he went into. Whether he lost or whether he won the game, he did everything he could to make sure, everything in his control, was straight. And the same thing with MJ, like his preparation is huge. And so you take those people that you idolize, you write out why you idolize them, and then you try to recreate those actions that they do, right? Now, secondly, going back to what Savvy originally asked with, like, how do you take a friend who, is like not as motivated, right? And you want to make them more motivated. Yeah. So in the book Atomic Habits, which I'll admit I haven't read, but I listened to a podcast of the guy who wrote the book, and he was explaining the book basically, and he said you just need 5 minutes, right? Because ultimately the reason that your friends that you're talking about are progressing with you is because of their habits, right? Ultimately, that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's because your habits are just simply put better than theirs, right? And they just don't have the same habits. So, and building habits is hard and breaking habits is hard, but we all know what good habits are, right? And so the idea of the 5 minute, just do something for 5 minutes, dude. Like if you want to meditate and you just haven't been meditating, just meditate for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes might turn into, a 30-minute thing. If you want to read and you haven't been reading, just open a book for 5 minutes. That might turn into, you reading the whole book in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So like when it comes to bringing other people up around you, ultimately you can only bring somebody up so far. They have to bring themselves up too, but you can give them the tools, you can give them the habits, and you can just tell them to take action, and that's really all you can do.
Damn, you hit the nail on the head, man. My thing is when I was in college last year, for all of y'all that don't know, I was a freshman last year in college, 19 years old. I'm now 20, but I knew I had to get away from that environment because, bro, like so many of my guys were just, they were grinding throughout the week or whatnot, but I knew deep inside they were all would go to these parties, but why would they drain their insecurities and like, alcohol and stuff like that? I just never really understood that. Because I watched a podcast with Gary Vee and Logic was talking about that. As he grew up, and I believe it was Brooklyn, New York, as he grew up, he saw so many of his guys just going out and just draining themselves just to put them in a place where they felt good, but when they sobered, it was all over the place. So they just repeat every single weekend. Like, why do people live for the weekends for it? I don't give a fuck about the weekends no more.
And bro, like it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's because people are so focused on the end goal and they're not focused on the journey. They're focused on that feeling, but they're not focused on how to get that feeling naturally, right? So like that's really what it comes down to, boys and girls. Like I swear to God, y'all, like once you learn to love the journey, once you learn to love waking up every day, becoming uncomfortable, bettering, like Tom Brady said it best, dude. You get 1% better every single day. By the time you die, you're gonna be a pretty cool fucking person, right? You know, Kobe Bryant said it best too. He said, you know, if I get 4 extra hours of work in, you know, compared to my opponents over a 5-year span, that's, you know, however many hours of work, you know, extra that they've got prepared. So, you know, like, people want to drain their insecurities in alcohol, and people want that feeling, and they live for the weekend because they're forgetting about how important the week is, right? You need to love that journey. You need to love that journey because
put that on the shirt.
Put that on a shirt.
Yeah, put that on the shirt.
Yeah, put it on the shirt. Put that on the merch.
Yeah, jeez.
First merch drop. Nah, but for real though, like you learn to love the journey, and then it's almost like the journey is in a sense the end, because a real success journey never has an end except until it's death. You know, like Phil Mickelson, you know, he's never gonna stop golfing.
Dang,
you know what I'm saying? Tiger Woods is never gonna stop golfing.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like they might get old as fuck, but they're still gonna do it, and that's just their journey, you know. And so there is no end to that journey, and the only end is, I guess, death, which is, I guess, another topic we can get to another time.
Yeah, that's facts. Jeez, I think that really ties it up for all of today's video, y'all. That hit hard. What did you say? What was that? The quote that you just said?
I said people live for the weekend because they forget how important the week is.
Bro, that's you gotta put it on the shirt.
Yeah,
you gotta put it on the shirt.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's crazy. Okay,
that's just off the dome too, dude. That's just off the muscle, you know.
People live for the weekend because they forget how important the week is.
Yeah. Definitely.
And then they tell themselves, or they want to complain that, you know, they got a bad grade on this assignment, or they did this wrong, or they're waking up too late.
Yeah.
Because you partied every weekend. That's why.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's all on you.
I think I read in Brian Tracy's No Excuses, which is a really, really good book if you're trying to like get into self-discipline. He said it's like stress isn't just life shitting on you. Stress is you ignoring your problems and letting them build up to a point where now it's fucking annoying you. Right? Does that make sense to you guys? Like, that's not like stress. Like, yeah, life is gonna shit on you, and yeah, that might cause you to stress out here and there. But like, you know, like a failed mortgage payment or something like that. You know, like, you know, there's no reason you can't make. I don't want to, you know, make assumptions about anybody, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like stress, you know, you're stressed because you're ignoring your problems, you're doing something else, and you're letting those problems grow to a point where now you look at them and you're like, oh my fucking God, like, how am I gonna get myself out of this? And then you have problem on problem on problem that gets so big, and now you're just like under a stress pile. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I said, the journey, every single day, doing what you need to do, right? Getting it done. Like Ben said, you know, if you enjoy your daily routine, right? If your daily routine gets everything done that you need to get done, you know, like, you don't get tired. You know, you just keep going.
I got 6 jobs. How you say it?
Was that a Kevin Gates?
Kevin Gates, yeah. I got 6 jobs. I don't get tired.
I don't get tired.
That's 6 jobs.
Hey, no, that line he has though. I don't get tired. That's a pretty tough line.
I like that line. Get tired. I got 6 jobs. Yeah, y'all. I think that'll you know, grasp everything up for today's, you know, video podcast. I think we really hit on some really hard, tough topics that a lot of you guys would benefit from. Like I said before, if you did like this video and you enjoyed what we talked about, please leave a like, subscribe, and even comment something else that we could talk about in another podcast, because I plan on doing this a lot more often, as well as the pranks that we do have coming out again after this video. But definitely go ahead and comment, and I just want to hear what you guys think about just the stuff we've been talking about.
New video, Savvy, thanks for having me on, bro.
No problem, man. No problem.
Absolutely, 100%.
You too, man.
You guys, yo, Savvy is official, bro. This guy is legit. I really suggest that you guys listen to him and definitely show him some love, because he puts in a lot of hard work that a lot of people don't see.
Hey, let's get it, y'all.
Let's go.
There you go.